Good evening everyone. I welcome you all to Unacademy, the India's largest e-learning platform, and I welcome you all to the GATE Conqueror channel. We are into analog communications, concepts through question series part 2. In analog communication, yesterday we had completed one session on concepts through questions part 1. Today we'll deal with concepts through questions part 2. In the previous session, we had explained 20 questions in part 1. So we'll continue with question number 21 in this particular session on subject analog communications. So before we start the session, everyone try to like the session and share the session to as many as possible. Question number 21, the first question for today's part and the continuation of yesterday's. Question number 21. What is given here? Let me read out. In an AM system, the system is AM. That is important. You should identify whether the system is AM, DSB, SC, SSB or VSB. In an AM system, AC, amplitude of the carrier signal is 10 volts. Mu1 is 0.3. Mu2 is 0.4. He's asking us to find the carrier power PC, total modulation index mu t, total power PT, and modulation efficiency eta. So as I told you, just try to pause the video here, try to solve it by yourself, then play the video for the solution. Okay, now you got mu1, you got mu2 very clearly. This is multi-tone modulation. Am I right? This concept is regarding multi-tone modulation. So in multi-tone modulation, instead of mu you have mu t, total modulation index. Total modulation index mu t is under root of mu1 square plus mu2 square. Therefore mu t is under root of 0.09 plus 0.16, under root of 0.25. So mu t must be 0.5. Mu t is 0.5. So very clearly either this or this must be your option. No chance for B and D. Okay, no chance for B and D. This is called elimination method. You can eliminate the options. If the options are weak there, then you need not find all of this. You can easily find the answer beforehand. It will save your time. It's a very good method to practice. Mu t is 0.5. Now as you got mu t, you can easily find eta value. Find eta value. What is eta? By default it is sinusoidal input. Eta is mu square by 2 plus mu square. Mu square, or it is here mu t. Therefore mu t square by 2 plus mu t square. Mu t square here is 0.25. Mu t is 0.5. Therefore mu t square is 0.25. Mu t square by 2 plus mu t square. 0.25 plus 2 plus 0.25. This is 0.25 by 2.25. 1 by 9. 1 by 9. As I told you, by elimination method you can solve the questions very easily. Eta is 0.9. Out of the available options of A and C, only one option is having eta is 1 by 9. Eta is 1 by 9. So without any further processing, we can conclude that the answer is C, provided your calculations are correct. If you are very sure that the calculations are correct, this answer is done. That's why if you are using elimination method, you can save a lot of time. Here the value of mu t is 1 by 9. Sorry, the value of eta is 1 by 9. With this we can conclude that the option C is the answer. For further processing, please calculate, for our practice sake, please calculate the other options also, which is asking about the carrier power and the total power. What is carrier power? carrier power is given by AC square by 2R. But R is not given. So by default, how much you should take R value? R is to take it as 1 ohm. AC square by 2R, R is 1 ohm. So calculate how much is AC given, 10 volt. 100 by 2, therefore this is 50 watt. 50 watt, yes it is matching. Yes it is matching. 50 watt, it is matching. You also need to find the total power. To find total power, what is required? You need sideband power. You need sideband power. To find total power, we need sideband power. Sideband power is PC into mu square by 2. Here it is multi-tone modulation, therefore mu t square by 2. PC you got it as 50 watt. 50 into mu t square. How much is mu t square? 0.25. 1 by 4. 1 by 4. By 2. 1 by 8. 1 by 4. By 2. 1 by 8. Therefore this is 6.25. This is 6.25. Therefore sideband power is 6.25 watt. From this total power is carrier power 50 watt plus sideband power 6.25 watt. Total power must be 56.25 watt. Standardized question, very last, to find all the parameters. Total power is 56.25, you can check out. 56.25, yes, correct. Option C is the answer. Clear? This is how you need to find the concept of calculating carrier power, mu t, eta and total power. Total power you got it as 56.25 watt. Is that clear? Now, we'll go on to the next question. We'll move on to the next question. Maximum modulation efficiency of an AM system. What is asking? Maximum modulation efficiency of an AM system for sinusoidal, rectangular and triangular inputs. Now, this is a very new concept. How to find modulation efficiency for 3 different inputs. By default, what is the default input? The default input is sinusoidal. The default input is sinusoidal. I want to find the modulation efficiency for sinusoidal input, rectangular input and triangular input. Okay. For this, how you need to find this? We need to know the general form of total power. The general form of total power is PT is equal to PC into 1 plus KA square P. KA square P. Where P is the message signal power. Where P is the message signal power. Where P is message signal power. Now if you calculate the message signal power, it will be easy for you. If you calculate the message signal power, it will be easy for you. Now you know total power is equal to carrier power plus sideband power. If you expand the previous equation, then PT is equal to PC plus PC into KA square P. PC into KA square P will be your sideband power. The general form of sideband power is PC into KA square P. PC into KA square P. Now, I want to find the total power. P is the message signal power. If you consider sinusoidal input, for sinusoidal input what happens? For a sinusoidal input, power P is AM square by 2. It is, power is A RMS square. How do you got this? How do you got this? Power is A RMS square. For sinusoidal input, A RMS is AM by root 2. A RMS is AM by root 2. Substituting, you get the power as AM square by 2. That is for sinusoidal input. Now if you calculate the total power PT is equal to PC into 1 plus K A square P. P is AM square by 2. Substituting. PT is equal to PC into 1 plus K A square. P is AM square by 2 for sinusoidal input. But you know Ka into AM is mu. But we know Ka into AM is mu, modulation index. So Ka square AM square is mu square. Substituting, you get total power for sinusoidal input PT is equal to PC into 1 plus mu square by 2. This is what you know, the general formula for sinusoidal input. Now if you do the same analysis, for triangular input, power is A RMS square. For triangular input, A RMS is AM by root 3. Therefore, message signal power P is AM square by 3. Substituting, you get the total power as PT is equal to PC into 1 plus Ka square. P I am substituting directly, okay? AM square by 3. Ka square AM square, as you know, is mu. It is mu square. Mu is Ka into AM. Therefore, total power for triangular input is PC into 1 plus mu square by 3. If you calculate for rectangular input, power is A RMS square. For rectangular input, A RMS is equal to AM. Therefore, power is A RMS square, which is AM square. Message signal power is AM square. Substituting, PT is equal to PC into 1 plus Ka square. P is AM square. Ka square, AM square is mu square. Therefore, total power is PT is equal to PC into 1 plus mu square. This is for rectangular input and this is for triangular input. Now I'll try to write the synopsis, the summary. For sinusoidal input, from now the total power formula is PT is equal to PC into 1 plus mu square by 2. That is for sinusoidal input. For triangular input, as just now we have derived, PT is equal to PC into 1 plus mu square by 3. For rectangular input, PT is equal to PC into 1 plus mu square. Now these are the formulas for total power. But you know total power is carrier power plus sideband power. From this, if you multiply inside, sideband power is PC into mu square by 2 for sinusoidal input. For triangular input, sideband power is PC into mu square by 3. For rectangular input, sideband power is PC into mu square. Now we'll derive modulation efficiency. Modulation efficiency is sideband power by total power. If you do it for sinusoidal input, PC into mu square by 2 into PC into 1 plus mu square by 2. PC and PC get cancelled. Mu square by 2 by 1 plus mu square by 2. Solving this, you get modulation efficiency is mu square by 2 plus mu square. This is for sinusoidal input. Similarly, if you calculate it for the triangular input, sideband power by total power, sideband power is PC into mu square by 3, total power is PC into 1 plus mu square by 3. Cancelling out PC, solving this you get, this is mu square by 3 by 1 plus mu square by 3. Solving this you get mu square by 3 plus mu square. This is for triangular input. For rectangular input, this is for triangular input. This is for sinusoidal input. For rectangular input, modulation efficiency eta is sideband power Pc into mu square, total power Pc into 1 plus mu square. Solving this, you get Pc into 1 plus mu square. Solving this, you get mu square by 1 plus mu square. This is for rectangular input. Therefore, I am trying to write the modulation efficiency for sinusoidal input is mu square by 2 plus mu square. For triangular input is mu square by 3 plus mu square. For rectangular input is mu square by 1 plus mu square. From now, try to use these formulas. It's a very, very important concept. As I told you, this series is about concept through questions. Whenever the question appears, we'll try to derive that particular concept. It's a very important concept here. Okay, now we'll go back to the question. What is asking in the question? Let us see. He's asking modulation efficiency. Maximum modulation efficiency you will get when mu is 1. For sinusoidal input, it is mu square by 2 plus mu square. Mu is 1, therefore it is 1 by 3. 33.3%. In terms of percentage, multiply by 100, 33.3%. Next is rectangular input. Don't be in a hurry. See the input first. Rectangular input. So for rectangular input, eta max is mu square by 1 plus mu square. Mu is 1. 1 by 2. 50%. Next is triangular input. See the order of the inputs also. Okay. That's very, very important. Next is triangular input. Mu square by 3 plus mu square. 1 by 4. 25%. Therefore, the answer is 33.3%, 50% and 25%. Okay. So 33.3%, 50% and 25%. So what is the answer here? 33.3%, 50% and 25%. Option D is the answer. Very, very important model of a question. So very important model of a question. Please make a note of it. Very, very important model. Now, we'll solve one more question. In an AM system, given is an AM system, AC is equal to 20 volt. Given AC is equal to 20 volt, mu is equal to 0.5, mu is 0.5, then total power is asking total power. Just now I derived all the formulas, am I right? Now I need not derive. Everything is ready now. Total power for sinusoidal, rectangular, triangular. Very, very simple, provided you know the concept, am I right? So understanding this concept, that derivation, that theory is very, very important. The most important model questions these are. So PT is equal to PC into 1 plus mu square by 2. This is for sinusoidal input. Calculate. Pause the video and calculate. Pause the video and calculate. Just pause the video and calculate. When you play back, you'll find the answer. Okay, fine, nice. Now calculate here. Calculate the total power. Calculate the total power. For sinusoidal input, Pt is equal to Pc into 1 plus mu square by 2. First you should find what? Pc. What is Pc? Pc is AC square by 2R. AC square by 2R. Pc is AC square 400 by 2. R is given? No, R is not given. R is not given means by default 1 ohm. Therefore, carrier power is 200 watt. We got carrier power is 200 watt. Substitute. This is 200 into 1 plus mu is 0.5, 1 by 2. 1 by 2 whole square, 1 by 4, by 2, 1 by 8. 200 into 1 plus 1 by 8. 200 plus 200 by 8. Plus 200 by 8. That is 25. 200 plus 25. It must be 225. 225. Option B or C. Option B or C must be your answer. Next. The next options are both different options. Therefore, if you find any one, it is enough. This is called elimination method. This is called elimination method where you'll save your time. Okay. Now, next is rectangular input. See the input carefully. Many of the students will go wrong. Even after knowing all the concept, they will do the question wrongly because they will overlook these options. Okay. So see the option carefully. The second input is rectangular input. Pc into 1 plus mu square. Pt is equal to 200 into 1 plus mu is 1 by 2. Is 1 by 4. 1 by 4. Therefore 200 plus 50. Total power is 250 watt. This is 225 watt. And this is 250 watt. As I told you, options are different here. Elimination method. Only one fellow is having 250. You need not calculate the third one. Your answer is done. Option B is the answer. This will save lot of time. If you do this method in all the questions, at least in some of the questions, basing on the options, you can solve this. So it will save lot of time. It will be accumulated. This saving time will accumulate, and you can attempt 3 or 4 questions more than your other students, or than your peer students, or than your competitors. That will make you the difference. So practicing in this way is very, very important. In competitive exams, time is everything, dear. Time is everything. You need to conserve time. You need to conserve time. In order to conserve time, one of the best method is elimination method. But you should be very careful that your options the calculations are correct. Okay. Next, triangular input. For triangular input, what is the formula? Pt is equal to Pc into 1 plus mu square by 3. 200 into 1 plus mu is 1 by 2, 1 by 2 whole square, 1 by 4 by 2, 1 by 12. Calculate this. This will be approximately equal to 216 watt. Anyways, the answer is done by this time. If you are following the elimination method, by this time the answer is done. Therefore, option B is the answer. Option B is the answer. Is that clear? Very good. Next question. We'll go over the next question now. So before we solve this question, please everyone try to share the class, like the session. If you are new to the channel, subscribe the channel without fail, and try to share it among the maximum, so that the number of people who are joining this class will increase and our concepts will reach to maximum people. So everyone try and add your friends, dear. Next question. I'll read out the question for you. Identify the applications of different kind of signals. Voice, audio, video, data. Applications are given: radio, telephone, internet, television. Radio, telephone, internet, telephone, radio, internet, television. Telephone, radio, television, internet. You need to identify the correct option. So please pause the video, think about it, and try to answer. Once you answer it, Once you answer it, once you complete your calculation, play the video. Play the video for solution. Yes, dear, please do it. Identify the applications of different kind of signals. Identify applications of different kind of signals. What are the signals given? Voice signal. Voice signals. First tell me what is the range. Voice signal will be between 300 Hz to 3.5 kilohertz. 300 Hz to 3.5 kilohertz. The maximum frequency for voice signal, the highest modulating frequency is 3.5 kilohertz. Okay. Generally, the highest modulating frequency, which is called the pitch frequency or the voice frequency, for men is 3.2 kilohertz. For women, it is 3.6 kilohertz. More than the actual range. That's why generally we cannot compete and win with women in argument. That is a boon for them, which is natural. So try to understand this concept and do not go into any arguments. Okay. So FM is 3.5 kilohertz. Now if FM is 3.5 kilohertz, Nyquist rate. Nyquist rate. What is Nyquist rate? Nyquist rate is twice the highest modulating frequency. The minimum sampling frequency that is required for proper modulation and demodulation is called Nyquist rate. 2 times of FM, which is 7 kilohertz. Which is 7 kilohertz. Which is 7 kilohertz. Now you should use generally Nyquist criteria. Nyquist criteria means oversampling condition where Fs is greater than 2 times of FM. That is what generally they use practically. Fs is greater than 2 times of FM. It is a custom. It is a custom to use greater than this 7 kilohertz called as 8 kilohertz in telephony. In telephony, the sampling frequency is 8,000 samples per second. Or the sampling frequency is 8 kilohertz. Try to understand this concept. Try to relate it to the practical things. Communication is a wonderful subject when you try to relate to your day-to-day work. Fs is sampling frequency, which is 8 kilohertz or 8,000 samples. Okay. So it is customary that all telephone operating systems use their sampling frequency as 8,000 samples per second. So very clearly, voice signal will fall for what application? Telephony application. Voice signals are used in telephony application. Option C or D is your answer. Elimination method. A and B are gone. Clear? Now, how many bits are transmitted per sample? It is customary that we transmit 8 bits in telephony system. Bit rate RB is NFS. 64 kbps, and the technique that they use is pulse code modulation. I'll discuss again when I'm discussing digital. In digital communication, I'll discuss in detail about what is PCM, what is bit rate, the derivation for bit rate, sampling, undersampling, critical sampling, oversampling, aliasing effects. All this I'll explain very clearly. The relation between bit rate and bandwidth, everything I'll explain. Don't worry. So for now, from this explanation, it is very clear that voice signal will find its application in telephony. Next, audio signal. Let us speak something about audio signal now. Where do you have audio signal applications? Audio signal applications. Now, if you are using elimination method, here both video is for television, very clear. No chance here. Data is for internet. By elimination method, option D is the answer. You need not know about audio. Because why I should not know about audio? These two are correct answers. For these two correct answers, the next option is same. You need not do anything on that. You need not think on that. You need not apply your brain on that, because both the options are same. That's why if you do elimination method, even with 50% knowledge, you can complete the question in earliest of the time. Time is everything. I told you in competitive exams, time is everything. Try to do the question as early as possible, as accurate as possible, because you have negative marking. Okay. So by elimination method, once you have the knowledge of telephone, it is enough that to understand that the answer is D. But further, because this is only the practice session, here we should gain as much knowledge as possible, so that in examination you will do better. Now we'll discuss something about audio signal and its relation to radio. Okay. Audio signal and its relation to radio. Audio signals. Audio signals are those which are having frequency, which fall frequency in audible range. What is audible range? Which have their frequency in audible range. What is audible range? Audible range is 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz. 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz is called audible range. Okay. So this is audible range, and even our voice frequency falls in audible range only. Voice frequency will fall 300 Hz to 3.5 kilohertz. The voice frequency range is in audible range only. That's the reason why whatever I am speaking, you are able to understand, you are able to hear. You are able to hear because I am speaking in audible range, as simple as that. And audible range frequencies are very easy to mix up. So if, just imagine me, one more faculty, Hari sir, one more faculty, Satish sir, are speaking together. All GATE Conqueror channel faculty are speaking together, taking a combined class on same platform, same time. Will you understand anything? No. You will not understand anything, because all we are speaking in audible range. We are all voice frequencies are in audible range. In audible range, the frequencies will mix up very easily. You cannot differentiate. The human ear cannot differentiate these audible frequencies. That's the reason why we go for modulation. Yesterday class beautifully we had explained about this. Am I right? Now, let me talk something about the audio frequencies. The audio frequencies will start from 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz. The audible range is from 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz. In radio, there are mainly two types of radio. What are those? What are those two types of radio, dear? We have AM radio and FM radio. There are two types of radio, AM radio and FM radio. Go for AM radio. If it is AM radio, in AM radio the highest modulating frequency, FM, is only 5 kilohertz. Out of all the audible range, 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz, AM radio will utilize only up to 5 kilohertz. It will utilize only up to 5 kilohertz. This is AM radio. That's why AM radio is more suitable for talk shows, where people will talk. Yes, frequencies are accommodated because everyone is talking below 3.5 kilohertz. I am accommodating 5 kilohertz. Easily you can accommodate talk shows. But if you try to include music, you need more audible range, which is not available in AM radio. That's why if you play a same song you play in AM radio and FM radio, where you will have more clarity. You will have more clarity. You will have more clarity in FM radio, not in AM radio, because AM radio is not accommodating all the audible range. It is only accommodating up to 5 kilohertz, where you have voice signals. Got it? Try to understand the logic. You are not a layman. You are an engineer. You are an engineer. Am I right? You should be, at least you should know the difference between AM radio and FM radio. Everyone who is not having any knowledge about radio frequency and all, even they don't know about the unit of frequency, those people also will tell that FM radio is good because human senses, they're feeling comfortable. They're feeling comfortable when they're listening the song in FM radio when compared to AM radio. But you are an engineer. As an engineer, you should tell me why AM radio is not good and FM radio is good for music. Clear? So that is what I'm trying to explain here. AM radio uses only up to FM is 5 kilohertz, and for AM the bandwidth is 2 times of FM. So bandwidth required for each AM radio channel is 2 times of FM. Therefore, that is the reason why each radio channel will take 10 kilohertz. Each AM radio channel will take a bandwidth of 10 kilohertz. Clear? I think now it is clear. Am I right? Now, FM radio. Very interesting, am I right? These concepts are very, very interesting. Communication is a very interesting subject, provided someone will teach you in that way. Otherwise, people will panic by seeing communication, the syllabus of communication. But communication is something which you can enjoy, provided you understand the basics clearly. Okay? So let us go for FM radio. FM radio. FM radio will allow frequencies up to 15 kilohertz. Now you got it? This fellow is allowing only up to 5 kilohertz AM radio, but FM radio is allowing up to 15 kilohertz. Not only voice, music can also be accommodated. That's why you feel ease. You feel good when you listen to FM radio. You enjoy while you listen to FM radio when compared to AM radio. The same song, your favorite number, you play in AM radio and FM radio. You feel very ease. You feel very comfortable while you listen it the same song in FM radio, because this fellow is accommodating more. This fellow is accommodating more up to 15 kilohertz. And what is the bandwidth? We use wideband FM. Of course, narrowband FM and AM are same. Now I'm not going to go in detail between why narrowband FM and AM are same. I'll explain when the time permits. When we discuss about radios in radio receivers, I'll explain about the different types of FM that you have, which is narrowband FM and wideband FM. Why narrowband FM is equal to AM? We'll have elaborate discussion. We'll have an elaborate discussion on this topic in radio receivers concept. Okay? Right now we are getting more deviated because of that. Okay? So I am trying to restrict myself because just one thing came into mind when I was discussing this. Even our legendary K.N. Rao sir will say one thing. Faculty is one who know his boundaries. That fellow is a faculty. A faculty is one who know his boundaries very clearly. Okay, so we should not extend here. Okay, at least we should not extend here. Now, FM radio, highest modulating frequency is 15 kilohertz. Just you can see sir short video. If you find some time, please take some time and see. Sir has beautifully explained about this concept in the short video. Please see. Okay. Now, FM is 15 kilohertz here. What is the bandwidth? The FM that we are using is a wideband FM. The FM that we use is a wideband FM. For wideband FM, we should use Carson's bandwidth rule. Now you may ask me, sir, what is this Carson's bandwidth rule? Why I should use? If you don't use Carson's bandwidth rule, the bandwidth of FM is infinite. Can you accommodate infinite bandwidth? No. But Carson told that you need not use infinite bandwidth. You can finite it, and you can use, or you can utilize the maximum signal, because according to Carson, beta plus 1, beta is the modulation index, beta plus 1th sideband will accommodate 99% of the power. So only take up to beta plus 1th sideband. See, I'll give you detailed explanation. I'll give you detailed explanation on this particular concept while we are discussing about FM. Don't worry. Just stay tuned. once we reach FM concept, I'll explain very clearly what is this beta plus 1 concept. Okay, don't worry. Now, the bandwidth according to Carson's bandwidth rule is 2 times beta plus 1 times of FM. Two times beta plus 1 times of FM. So basing on the value of beta, again beta depends on frequency deviation. So we'll go away. We'll deviate ourselves now. So I want to restrict myself. Okay. So beta is the modulation index. The general standard modulation index is 5. Let me restrict here. Okay. Let me restrict myself to here that the standard beta value is 5. Okay. If that is the case, let me calculate the bandwidth approximate. Okay. So 2 times beta, standard value of beta is 5. 5 plus 1, 6 times of FM is 15 kilohertz. This will be around 180 kilohertz. Generally, the standard allocation is 200 kilohertz. Each FM channel will take 200 kilohertz. Each AM channel will take how much? Only 10 kilohertz. AM channel will take only 10 kilohertz. FM channel will take up to 200 kilohertz. FM channel is taking how much bandwidth? FM channel is taking 20 times greater bandwidth than AM channel. So FM channel will waste lot of bandwidth, but clarity is good. Okay? But clarity is good. Good faculty will take more time. Good faculty will take more time to explain concepts, but his concept will be good. Okay? Similar. FM radio is taking more bandwidth, but its quality is good. It will take 200 kilohertz, 20 times more than AM radio. Now, systems which utilize the complete range of audio frequency up to 20 kilohertz are music systems. The music systems that utilizes the complete band of frequencies are called Dolby digital systems. Had you heard about Dolby? 100%. If you go to a movie theater also, you can see surrounded by Dolby digital. Now you can proudly say, I know about Dolby digital. Okay. So that fellow is utilizing the complete radio band. Am I right? Complete audio band, it is utilized by Dolby digital. Therefore, you have so much clarity. These days you have Dolby Atoms also. Now again, let me restrict to this particular concept only. Let us not drag ourselves to Dolby Digital and Dolby Atoms. Okay. Now, a music system that uses the complete band is called a Dolby digital system. Now, I hope you got complete clarity about radio operation and its association with the audio signal. Now it's very simple. Huh? What is this question now? It's very simple, am I right? Audio means radio. Finished. Done. Audio signals are utilized in radio. Of course, video signals are utilized in television. Because television will send 2 signals, audio and video. That video concept is utilized in television. Data signals are utilized in internet. Therefore, option D is the answer. Question is very simple, but concept is very deep. Clear? And our concept is also same. Concept through questions. Okay? Question is only a media. Question is only a, a media for us, a medium for us to explain a concept. Okay? Through question, I am trying to explain so many concepts here. Okay? Try to understand that. Next question. Next question. In an AM system, maximum amplitude of message signal is 2 volt. In an AM system, maximum amplitude of AM signal is 2 volt. If the system is modulated with 100% modulation index, 100% modulation index, mu is 1, then amplitude sensitivity of the modulator is Ka. Is asking Ka. Please pause the video. Very simple question this is, okay? Very simple question. Please pause the video, find the answer and play the video. Now, you know modulation index in AM system, modulation index mu is equal to Ka into AM. 100% modulation, mu is 1. Ka into 2. Ka is 1 by 2, 0.5. Ka is 0.5. Ka value is 0.5. Option B is the answer. Simple, am I right? When compared to all the other questions, this is very simple. Okay? Next question. This is a very good question. This is a very good question. Try to solve. Try to solve. This is a very good question. This is called intra-subject questions. I am trying to link more than one subject. In GATE, there will be 5 to 6 questions which are intra-subject, where you will have a concept related to more than one subject. Very, very, very important concept. Such concepts are very, very important concept because you are involving more than one subject here. Mark it as important. Important. Last time when I was teaching in a class, I predicted that this kind of question or this question will come exactly. And to our surprise, the same question appeared in GATE 2021. The chances for this kind of question is also very high. And remember, these are not PYQs. These are not previous year questions. These are not questions which are picked up from any test series. None of the test series. These are self-designed questions. These are my questions. These are my questions, patented. So you can't find these kind of questions anywhere. You can't find these kind of questions anywhere. Solve it, solve it, solve it, solve it. Okay. In an AM system, I'll read out the question for you. In an AM system, carrier amplitude is 10 volt. Carrier amplitude is 10 volt. Is asking just find carrier power. Very simple, am I right? Very simple. Why? Formula is AC square by 2R. Finished. R is not given. So you'll say, I'll go for AC square by 2, 50 watt. No option is having 50 watt. What is this? Because I told you whenever R is not given, you can take it as 1. But it is not the case because it is an intra-subject concept. Here, what is asking? If it radiates across, antenna that is used is quarter wave monopole antenna. The antenna that we are using is a quarter wave monopole antenna. You should know something about quarter wave monopole antenna. Then you can attempt this. A quarter wave monopole antenna. Quarter wave monopole antenna. Single pole. Monopole means single pole. Quarter wave means the wavelength is one. Wavelength is, or the length is lambda by 4. Quarter wavelength, quarter wave monopole. The length is quarter wavelength, lambda by 4. It's a lambda by 4 antenna. For quarter wave monopole antenna, the radiation resistance is 36.5 ohm. The general formula for radiation resistance is 80 pi square into dl by lambda whole square. Now again, I'll explain in detail once we discuss about antennas, okay? Much explanation is not required here as of now. It's a very big concept. Radiation resistance concept is a very big concept. It will take 1 hour only for radiation resistance concept. Let us not discuss here, okay? Here, let us restrict ourselves to only quarter wave monopole and half wave dipole. Okay, a quarter wave monopole antenna is one which is having a length of lambda by 4. Its radiation resistance is 36.5 ohm standard. A half wave dipole antenna is an antenna which is having a length of lambda by 2. Radiation resistance is 73 ohm. Radiation resistance is 73 ohm. Now you'll get the answer easily. Now you read out. In an AM system, the carrier amplitude is 10 volt. Carrier power, if it is radiated across, for example, you have phobia about antennas, as so many students will have phobia about antennas. They don't know anything about antennas. If that is the case with you, then this question is a very simple question you cannot answer, because it is an intra-subject question. You don't have sufficient knowledge about the antennas. If you have only sufficient knowledge about antennas and communication together, you can answer this question. That's why these kind of questions are very, very important. Because as an examiner, I want to test the knowledge of the student in multiple subjects. This is the best way to ask a question. Now, remember, this is not a PYQ, this is a self-designed question by me. Okay? Now, quarter wave monopole antenna. Substitute PC is equal to 100 by 2 into quarter wave monopole 36.5 ohm. Carrier power is 100 by 73 ohm. Sorry, 100 by 73 watt. Half wave dipole. Half wave dipole AC square by 2R. 100 by 2 into 73 ohm. 100 by 146 ohm. 100 by 146 watts. 100 by 73, 100 by 73 and 100 by 146. 100 by 73 and 100 by 146. Option C is the answer. 100 by 73 and 100 by 146. Option C is the answer. Clear? Very, very important question here. These are very important questions. Next. In an AM system, if the carrier amplitude is 10 volt, in an AM system, if the carrier amplitude is 10 volt, mu is equal to 0.1, resistance R is 1 by 8 ohm, then is asking find carrier power and lower sideband power. Yes, calculate. Pause the video and calculate. Pause the video and calculate. In an AM system, if the carrier amplitude is 10 volt, mu is equal to 0.1, resistance is 1 by 8 ohm, find the carrier power. What's the formula? The formula for carrier power is AC square by 2R. AC is given as 10 volt, 100 by 2 into 1 by 8. This is 400 watt. 400 watt. Apply elimination method. If you apply elimination method, either A or C. No chance for B and D. Either A or C. Either A or C will be your answer. Next. Lower sideband power. Now you know the formula for sideband power. I derived now. What is the sideband power? PC into mu square by 2. In this sideband, there are two sidebands. Lower sideband, upper sideband. The power is equally distributed. Therefore, lower sideband power is half of this. PC into mu square by 4. PC is AC square by 2R. Therefore, lower sideband power is AC square mu square by 8R. Upper sideband power is AC square mu square by 8R. Sideband power is AC square mu square by 4R. Double of this. Okay? So you need not by heart anything. You need not by heart any formula. Everything can be derived then and there. Lower side band power AC square mu square by 8R. Substitute. Lower side band power AC square 100 mu square 0.01 by 8R. 8R 1 by 8. This is 1 watt. Lower side band power is 1 watt. You have two options. So option C is the answer. Option C is the answer. Question is very simple. This concept is important. How I derive from sideband power, how I derive lower sideband power and got a formula is very, very important. Now in this class only I derived PSB. In this class only I am deriving LSB, PLSB, power of LSB. Everything can be derived. Everything can be derived then and there. Don't buy hard formulas. Understand concept. Concept is important. Don't buy hard formula. Is that clear? Next, in an AM system with message signal, in an AM system with a message signal 2 cos 2 pi into 10 power 4t. So let me take m of t, okay? M of t is given as 2 cos 2 pi into 10 power 4t. Carrier signal is given as 10 cos 2 pi into 10 power 60. Then carrier power and bandwidth is given by, what is the system given here? Whenever I am talking about bandwidth, you should be very careful about the system given here. The system given here is AM system. The system given here is AM system. So now try to identify. From this, we can identify that AM is 2 volt. FM is 10 kilohertz. 10 power 4 here. 10 kilohertz. You should be very careful. Sometimes he will not give you this 2. He will give you pi into 10 power 4. Then you must be able to write in terms of 2 pi into something. Clear? So, now, FM is 10 kilohertz, AC is 10 volt, AC is 10 volt, FC is 1 megahertz. What is asking? Is asking us to find the carrier power. R is not given. R is not given means 1 ohm. Carrier power PC is equal to AC square by 2R. AC square 10 square 100 by 2, R is 1. This is 50 watt. 50 watt, A and C. Answer must be between A and C. Next, bandwidth. Bandwidth is 2 times of FM because it is an AM system. Bandwidth is 2 times of FM. FM is 10 kilohertz. Bandwidth is 20 kilohertz. 20 kilohertz, 50 watt and 20 kilohertz. Option C is the answer. 50 watt and 20 kilohertz, option C is the answer. Is that clear? Therefore, option C is the answer. Yes, dear. Nice. Next one. We'll go for the next question. Please, before we go for the next question, please remember to like the session, share the session, and if you are a new subscriber, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to our channel, GATE Conqueror. Next. Good question. This question is very good. I'll just read out the question for you. Modulation efficiency of AM system. Modulation efficiency, eta is asking. system, AM system, when mu is 0, when mu is 0, mu is 1, mu is 1 by root 2, mu is 1 by 2. In these cases, I should find the modulation efficiency. Please pause the video, try to solve, then resume the video. Pause the video, try to solve, then resume the video. Modulation efficiency of AM system when mu is 0. You know modulation efficiency formula. By default, it is sinusoidal input. For sinusoidal input, it is mu square by 2 plus mu square. I need not explain, am I right? In today's class only, I derived this, am I right? Eta is mu square by 2 plus mu square for default sinusoidal input. Mu is 0. Eta is 0. Eta is 0. Next, I want percentage, so multiply by 100, okay? Mu is 1. Mu is 1. 1 by 3 into 100, 33.33%. 0, 33.33%. Either A or C. Elimination method. Next, mu is 1 by root 2. Mu square by 2 plus mu square. 1 by root 2 whole square. 1 by 2. 0.5 by 2.5. 1 by 5. 20%. Done. 20%. Only this fellow is having 20%. This is having 11.11. So by elimination method, this is not the answer. Option C is the answer. You need not calculate the last one. It will save time. When you do that, it will save time. Okay? So last one. 1 by 2. Mu square 1 by 4. 0.25 by 2.25. 1 by 9. 11.11%. Therefore, question number 29, option C is the answer. Question number 29, option C is the answer. Next. Next question. In an AM system, with carrier amplitude of 20 volt, in an AM system with carrier amplitude of 20 volt, okay, in an AM system with carrier amplitude of 20 volt, in an AM system with carrier amplitude of 20 volt, modulation index of 0.1, the values of Vmax and Vmin are. This we are derived, no? In part 1 we are derived this, I am right. In detailed explanation I had given. If you are missing the part 1, go back. After this class, go back and see part 1. In detailed I explained about Vmax and Vmin. Very clearly I explained. Vmax, Vmin concept. Already we have derived this. So I am not going to derive again. You can see the derivation in part 1. Vmax is equal to AC into 1 plus mu. Vmin is equal to AC into 1 minus mu. This is 20 into 1.1. 22 volt. This is 20 into 0.9. 18 volt. So answer is 22 volt and 18 volt. If you apply elimination method, you can only find one. Only one option is having 22. Directly without calculating the second one, you can say answer is B. Concept is very simple. Formulas are also very simple. But you should know this concept. If you don't know the formula, you can't do anything. Formula you need not by heart. I explained yesterday how to derive this formula from concept. Okay? See, I'll tell you one thing, dear. If you derive the formula by concept, you'll remember forever. If you by heart, you'll forget. Believe me, if you are by hearting any formula, you'll forget very soon. But if you are deriving the concept or deriving the formula from concept, you'll remember for longer time. Okay? So that was a very simple question. Vmax and Vmin 22 volt and 18 volt. Okay. Next. In an AM system with Vmax of 20 volt and Vmin of 2 volt is asking find the values of mu and AC. Yesterday in part 1 class I derived these formulas also. I had not taken any formula directly. I derived these formulas. If you had missed the part 1, please go through the part 1. Very clear explanation is given for this derivation also. Mu is equal to formula which we had derived in our previous class, Vmax minus Vmin by Vmax plus Vmin. 20 minus 2, 18 by 22. That's mu value. AC value, this also we had derived yesterday, Vmax plus Vmin by 2. 20 plus 2 by 2, 22 by 2, 11 volt. 18 by 22 will be 0.81. Therefore, 0.81 and 11 volt. Option D is the answer. Clear? Option D is the answer. Please go through these formulas or please go through these derivations from part 1, okay? Next question. I'll read out the question for you. Just a second. I'll read out the question for you. Transmitted current of an AM system for unmodulated system is 10 amp. Means what? Unmodulated means carrier current is 10 amp. If mu is 1 by root 2, find IT. Yesterday we had derived formula for this also. Am I right? Even for this I derived formula. IT is equal to IC into under root of 1 plus mu square by 2. Formula I derived in the previous class. Okay. IT is 10 into under root of 1 plus mu is 1 by root 2 whole square 1 by 2 by 2 1 by 4. This is 10 root 5 by 2. 5 root 5 amp. 5 root 5. 5 root 5. It can be B or D. You must do the next option now. Now mu is, next option is mu is 1 by 2. IT is equal to IC into under root of 1 plus mu square by 2. This is IT is equal to 10 into under root of 1 plus mu is 1 by 2 whole square 1 by 4 by 2 1 by 8. IT is equal to 10 into under root of 9 by 8. IT is equal to 10 into 3 by 2 root 2. IT is equal to 30 by 2 root 2. IT is equal to 15 by root 2. 15 by root 2. Root 2 by 15. 15 by root 2. Carefully calculate. Therefore, option B is the answer. Option B is the answer. Okay. Important model here. Anything related to currents is very important. In engineering services 2021 also we got this question. Similar model of a question we got in engineering services 2021 prelims. Important model. Okay, next question. Now this is something related to square law modulator. Square law modulator concept. In an AM system, because what is square law modulator? Square law modulator is an AM generator. In an AM system, the response of a non-linear system is utilized in square law modulator. Of a square law modulator is 0.1 V plus 1 V square. Now, if you take a square law modulator, message signal M of t, adder C of t, carrier signal C of t, both are given to a non-linear system, then we pass it through a band pass filter, the output of it is a AM output, output of which is an AM output. Now, if V1 is the input, if Vin is the input of a nonlinear system, Vout is the output of a nonlinear system. The output of a nonlinear system Vout is given by A Vin plus B Vin square. A Vin plus B Vin square. Clear? Now, C of t will substitute at AC cos 2 pi FCT. Then you go on calculating, you will get the answer. Okay? Now, you will get the output of this square law modulator. You get it as S of t is equal to AC into 1 plus mu times cos 2 pi FMT into cos 2 pi FCT. This is what you will get the output of square law modulator, which is your AM output. But the concept here is, if I give an input V into a non-linear system, the output is V0, and this V0 and Vin are related by V0 is equal to A Vin plus B Vin square. Now, given the output Vout is 0.1 V plus 1 V square. So, here clearly V is input. Now, if you compare these both equations, A is 0.1, B is 1. What is asking? Is asking us to find Ka, amplitude sensitivity of the modulator. Ka is equal to 2B by A. From this B is 1, A is 0.1, 2 into 1 by 0.1. Ka is 20. Therefore, Ka is 20. Therefore, option A or option C must be your answer. Next, mu value is also asking us to find the value of mu. If the message signal is 0.05 cos of 2 pi into 10 power 3t, is asking us to find the mu value. What is mu? Mu is equal to Ka into Am. From the given equation, Am is 0.05. Message signal peak amplitude is 0.05. Ka you already got it as 20. Multiply 20 into 0.05. Mu is 1. Mu is 1. Mu is 1. 20 and 1. Option A is the answer. 20 and 1. Option A is the answer. Is it clear? Important model, because to understand this, you should know something about square law modulator. For example, you have no knowledge of square law modulator, a non-linear system. It's a response. Can you do this question? No. You should know about the response of a non-linear system, and also you should know about how Ka formula is derived. Ka is equal to 2B by A. You should know what is A, what is B. You should know this form, A Vin plus B Vin square. Otherwise, you cannot do this question. Even though it's a simple question, it's a concept-oriented question. You should know some knowledge of square law modulator. Then only you can do these kind of questions. So these kind of questions which are related to some concept are very important, and our series is concept through questions. These model of questions are very important, because just example, you think that you don't know anything about square law modulator. The moment you see square law modulator in the question, you leave this question. That's called filtering. Examiner can filter the student because the student who is not good at theory should not score the marks easily. That is what I think about. I think when I am trying to design a question. This is a concept oriented question in which square law modulator concept is involved. Is it clear? Now, this is your square law modulator. I don't want to discuss in depth about square law modulator now. I had given you the block diagram and where a nonlinear system is used and the output of nonlinear system is passed through band pass filter where you get the aim output. Okay? Now, next question. Next question. In an AM system, let me read out the question for you. In an AM system, the response of a nonlinear system of a square law modulator is, again, something related to AM, am I right? Now you can see. In an AM system, the response of a nonlinear system of a square law modulator, V out is equal to A V in plus B V in square is given as 0.5 V plus 1 V square. Input is V. Is asking find Ka, similar model, the previous question model, similar up to Ka. So from this identify A is 0.5, B is 1, Ka value, amplitude sensitivity of the modulator 2B by A. Ka is 4. From this Ka is 4. Ka 4. Either A or C. The next question is very interesting one. Concept oriented question. You should know something about something else again now. What is that? Envelope detector. If you don't know anything about envelope detector, you are gone. You cannot do this question. What is the question you see? Can an envelope detector demodulated dismodulated signal if AM is 1 volt? Beautiful question. Beautiful question. What is asking? Can an envelope detector demodulate this modulated signal if AM is 1 volt? Wonderful question. You should know something about envelope detector, then only you can write this. Given AM is 1 volt, note down. Ka, you got it as 4. AM is given as 1 volt. Mu is equal to Ka into AM. 4 into 1. Mu is 4. You got mu is 4. Now he's asking, can an envelope detector demodulate this signal? Now you need to understand, envelope detector can detect the signal only when the value of mu modulation index is less than or equal to 1. Undermodulated or perfect modulated. It cannot demodulate over-modulated signals. Over-modulated signals are those where mu is greater than 1. In this question, mu is 4. Clearly, mu is greater than 1. Therefore, as mu is greater than 1, it is over-modulated signal. Envelope detector cannot detect over-modulated signal. It is not possible. Therefore, Ka is 4. And can it demodulate? No. It cannot demodulate. Therefore, what is the answer? Option C is the answer. Pure concept. If you don't know, in this question, if you don't know about square law modulator, you are dead. You don't know about envelope detector, you are dead. It's a concept oriented question. Calculations may be simple. The calculations may be simple, but it is concept. Examiner will give high priority on concept oriented questions where your aptitude is tested. You are writing GATE exam. Graduate aptitude test examination. He is going to test your aptitude by concept oriented questions. Okay. Next, for an envelope detector, next question, for an envelope detector to demodulate the signal, AM by AC must be, just now I told you, for an envelope detector to demodulate the signal, mu must be less than or equal to 1. But you know, mu is equal to formula Ka into Am. Ka formula in terms of AC is 1 by AC. Therefore, mu another formula is Am by AC. Again concept. If you don't know this concept, you are gone. Because if you don't know Ka is 1 by AC, you will never know that Am by AC is mu. The examiner is talking about mu and you don't know. Examiner is talking about mu and you don't know that it is mu. So, for an envelope detector to demodulate the signal Am by AC must be. But first you should know Am by AC is nothing but mu. Next you should know envelope detector can demodulate the signal only when mu is less than 1 or equal to 1. Not greater than 1 or infinity. Therefore, less than 1 and equal to 1, 1 and 2 option A is the answer. One more beautiful concept oriented question. These questions are very, very important here. Okay. This is the last question for this class. This is the last question for this class. In the coming class, we'll deal some more questions and we'll start with question number 36. Okay. Yes. Myself, I am GC Reddy. I have 12 plus years of teaching experience in teaching, guiding and mentoring GATE and ESE aspirants. Taught more than 1 lakh of students in my entire career. Subjects of interest: EMFT, communications and advanced communications. And we are already started wonderful series, full comprehensive series on the very rare subject advanced communication in our app. If you have not downloaded the app yet, please download the app. And you can use the code GCR10 to download all the free initiatives. Like you can download the app, you can attend the free classes, you can attend the combats, you can attend the test. All the free initiatives by Unacademy you can download by using the code GCR10. And also you can get extra 10% off on Plus subscription. Why Plus subscription? If you are a serious aspirant, I recommend you to consider a Plus subscription or an iconic subscription. A Plus subscription or an iconic subscription will guarantee that you can crack the exam very easily. What does we provide? What we provide from Unacademy in Plus subscription and iconic subscription. In Plus subscription, you got to get the face time of legendary faculties. India's topmost faculties are here. There is no doubt in that. I'm right. So you got to get the face time of legendary faculties in the form of live classes, crash courses, weekly test, and for every 3 live classes you'll have 1 doubt solving session. It will be explained in both Hindi and English, and also you'll have rank improvement batches for improving your rank. All this under Plus subscription. And if you're considering an iconic subscription, wonderful, because iconic subscription will include all the features of Plus subscription. On that you get a personal coach for your one-on-one guidance, customized study planner, because each student studying habits are different. His situation in which he is studying, his background, his prerequisite subjects, everything will be different. Every student needs a customized plan that we give at Unacademy. And also we have dedicated doubt clearing instructors. Then and there we can clear your doubts. You need not keep it pending. You have specialized notes and practice sets. Practice is very important. And also you have study booster sessions in the form of regular workshops. And not only writing tests, but doing analysis is also important. A personalized test analysis report will be given for you so that you'll understand the weaker sections and improve on that. Okay. So all this under iconic subscription. This Plus subscription is available for 12 months, 18 months and 24 months at a price value of 29,205, 37,170 and 42,480. You can also avail a no-cost EMI for this. I believe in no-cost EMI because it is very feasible for student to apply for no-cost EMI, because here the total cost will be divided by number of months. For example, you are taking a Plus subscription of 12 months, then you need to pay only 2,434 per month. Very easy, very easy. I'm right. Similarly, for Plus subscription and icon for 18 month and 24 month Plus subscription, the same thing is valid. And beyond that, you can use the code GCR10 to get 10% off. This is iconic subscription available for 12 months, 18 months and 24 months. If you are serious aspirant here, don't waste your time. Take a subscription and start preparing. Crack the exam. It is available for 45,225, 58,050 and 66,600. You can also avail the no cost EMI just like plus subscription. For example, you are taking a 12-month iconic subscription, the price value will be 3,769. Similarly for 18 months and 24 months. Here also you can use the code GCR10 to avail extra 10% off. Unacademy is going to hike the price very soon. So before the price get hiked, utilize this opportunity, use the code GCR10 and start your preparation right away. This Unacademy comeback, we had an Unacademy comeback on October 3rd. Every Sunday, Unacademy will conduct an Unacademy comeback, which is the largest weekly competition for GATE aspirants. Here, you'll have in 60 minutes, you need to write 20 questions. And these questions are designed by the topmost, curated by the topmost faculty. So you got to have a chance to test yourself here. And also if you perform well, there are many kind of things like they'll get free scholarship or free subscription completely, 50%, 75% discount based on your score. Wonderful opportunities and also a lucky draw and all. So many things are there here which can be utilized properly. If you are not affordable, if you cannot afford to pay, you can write these comebacks which will be conducted on every week. Last week you had on October 3rd, we'll have on October 10, 17, 24, 31. On each day it starts at 11 AM. So please make a note of this. And also if you got a subscription also, you can test yourself at least, because there will be an All India leaderboard here. This is about the comeback, and all the students, mechanical, civil, electrical, EC and CSIT, everyone can write this comeback. Unacademy has recently introduced a feature called Ask a Doubt, through which you can ask unlimited number of doubts and clear them on a single platform. So you need not wander here and there to clear your doubts. Everything can be cleared on a single platform. That's a very good initiative by Unacademy. Try to use it. And with iconic subscription, you get this unique feature of 1:1 mentoring, which will be very much helpful for your success. So don't waste your time. You can use the code GCR10 and immediately go for an iconic subscription in order to crack the exam very easily. These are the new batches recently started: Arohan, GATE and ESE, Electrical, Arohan, GATE and ESE, ECE, Varu, GATE and GATE 2023 for Electrical, Varu, GATE 2023 for ECE. You can select any one of the batch. In each batch, you have the India's topmost faculty teaching you. So what else you want? And beyond that, you can use the code GCR10 to avail 10% off. This is where you can follow me on Unacademy app. Take a screenshot and you can you can use this link to follow me on Unacademy app, where we are already discussing full-length comprehensive course on advanced communication. Beautiful course there. You can also inform your friends so that they also get benefited by this. So follow me on this Unacademy app by using this link. This is a Telegram channel of our GATE Conqueror channel headed by the legendary K.N. Rao sir. You can note this. Here you can access all the GATE Conqueror faculty at a single point. This is our Telegram channel. So thank you all dear. That was a wonderful session. Thank you all. Please do not forget to like, share and subscribe the channel. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe the channel, like the session and share the session among the